Okay, so we're going to be changing words into inequalities. It's called translating them. I'm going to go over a few things before we start just to make sure. These four main words here, just to make sure we know them. Sum means to add. Difference is subtraction. Product is multiplication and quotient's division. And then I want to stress something like extremely important here. So if I see the phrase less than, or I see the phrase is less than, those are actually two different things. Just one little tiny word's going to change everything. So if it's less than, it's actually just a subtraction problem. If it has the word is, now that's when it becomes an inequality. Like is less than is the less than symbol. Remember, it looks more like an L. Is less than or equal to. Make sure you put the equal to on it, right? Is greater than or equal to. Has that little line underneath. Arrows going in the opposite direction. And then is greater than. Same thing with the word more than, that means adding, okay? So less than or fewer than, something like that, would be subtraction. More than's adding. If I have the word is, now those are my inequality symbols. All right, so we're going to go through that difference one more time here. 9 less than a number x. I don't see the word is. So I know it's going to be a subtraction problem. I'm going to put that subtraction sign in right away. What's weird about the less thans and the more thans and the fewer thans, those are actually words that tell us to switch. So although 9 is first and a number x is second, they're going to switch spots anytime you see that. Less than, more than, fewer than. So it's going to be x minus 9. All right, number 2. 9 is less than a number x. Ooh, now I see that word is. So now that's my inequality symbol. The inequality symbol does not switch those two items. They just stay in the same order they are. So it's 9 is less than x. So know the difference. One little word changes the whole problem. We'll do one more like that. 8 more than a number y. More than. I don't see an is. More than's a plus. It is going to switch these two things around. So the y is going to come first and the 8's going to come second. But here, 8 is greater than or equal to. There's that word is. So greater than or equal to, and this stays in the same order. 8 comes first, y comes second. Okay, just to make sure we know the difference. Now we'll get into some other ones here. Twice a number r. If I'm doing twice something, that means I'm multiplying by 2. So it depends how you want to write this. You can write 2 times r with your favorite multiplication symbol like the x or the dot or parentheses. The cleanest way to write it that we prefer is just to shove them up against each other. That means twice r. That means 2 times r. Is less than, there's that is. So I can put the less than symbol. And then negative 14. Just goes right in order. Okay. 4 more than, okay, I don't see an is. That's just a plus. A number p is less than or equal to, there's my is. All right. Remember that more than or less than, the plus or the minus will switch these two things around. So instead of it saying 4 plus p, it's going to be p plus 4. is less than or equal to. Now we're putting the less than with the little line underneath. And then a 17. Number 7. 5 fewer than, I don't see the word is, fewer than subtraction. Means I'm going to switch things. So the 5 is going to get switched with, what comes next here? 3 times C. Ooh, that whole thing's going to get switched. So 3 times C is going to come first. Remember, the preferred way is just to stick the 3 and the C next to each other. That implies multiplication. Fewer than 5. Is greater than, there's my inequality symbol, 40. Next one, 2/3 B. When it's written like that, just to write it exactly how you see it, 2/3 B. Just like that. Increased by 10. If I'm increasing, I'm adding. Is less than, there's the is, less than symbol, 33. Okay, they're getting harder here. 3 more than, oof. Okay, there's that plus. That's gonna switch things around. The thing that comes after is twice W, so that's gonna come first. Okay, so remember, twice means to multiply by 2, so it's 2W. More than 3. Is less than or equal to 18. Number 10, 5. Less than, doesn't say the word is, so that just means subtraction. So we're gonna switch things. 15 is gonna come second. A number D cubed. We'll have to talk about what that is. So a number D cubed is gonna come first. Cubed means it's being raised to the 3rd power. If it said squared, it'd be being raised to the 2nd power. Less than 15 is greater than or equal to 1. All right, next one. The difference. Difference, remember, means subtraction. I'll put that in right now. It's going to tell us what to subtract next. It says twice x, which we know is 2x, and 9. Those are the things we're subtracting. It's kind of weird. It like tells you the things after the word. Okay, is greater than 12. Last one on this side, the sum. I know sum means to add. Again, it's going to tell me the 2 things after it. A number U and its squared. Its is referring back to that U again, but it wants us to square it, which we said was raise it to a power of 2. Is less than or equal to 5. That was a hard one. All right, so that's some translating. On to the back. Now we're getting into some other special words here. Wanda is at least 35 years old. Write an inequality that represents how many years old Y Wanda could be. All right, this is where people really get screwed up. Doesn't least sound like less than? So a lot of people think it's the less than symbol, but it's not. If I'm at least 35, think about this. That's the lowest I could be. Let's write out some things that Wanda could be. She could be 35, right? But if that's the lowest, then she could be like 36, she could be 40, she could be 99, right? Notice those numbers are all bigger than or equal to 35. So her inequality is actually at this, it said to use Y. She's greater than or equal to 35. So careful, because it really does look like it would be the less than symbol. Justin claims that his car has at most 32,000 miles on it. So again, let's make some examples. It could have 32,000. If that's the most he could have, then that means everything else must be less than it. He could have like 31,000. Maybe he only has 15,000. So it wants us to use M. So with respect to 32,000, these numbers are all less than it, or it could be equal to. All right, 15. To pass the subject, a student must have a minimum of 70, where an inequality represents the possible averages a student can have to pass the subject. So you need to pass. You need a 70. Think about what passing would it be. Would it be less than 70 or greater than 70? Well, we want to be greater than 70. Maybe you got 75. Maybe an 82. Maybe a 97. So it wants us to use A. With respect to 70 to pass, we want to be bigger than 70 or equal to it. So minimum means greater than or equal to. In bowling, a maximum possible score is 300, right? And an inequality represents the possible score is S for someone bowling. So the most I can get is 30, right? That's the max. But most people are going to go less than it. Maybe they bowl a 250. Maybe 115. I don't know. So your score, if 300 is the maximum, then you have to be less than it, or you could be equal to it. So let's summarize what these symbols are. At least for Wanda was greater than or equal to. At most for Justin was less than or equal to. Minimum meant greater than or equal to. And maximum meant less than or equal to. All right, last four here. These are more like word typey problems, but same idea. The cost of one burrito and one taco. Well, if I'm buying two things, I'm going to add them together. My burrito plus my taco is less than the cost of two burritos. So 2 burritos. The cost of 2 quesadillas and a burrito is greater than the cost of 3 burritos. Okay. Carol wants to earn at least $150 for charity while running a race. Let's box that in. Remember, what did we say at least was? 150 is the minimum, so she wants 150 or more. So let's put that in there. That means we're going to be greater than or equal to 150. That's kind of the ending of this problem. She will earn $20 for participation plus $7 for each mile she runs. If M represents the number of miles she ran, write an inequality represent this situation. So she's earning $20 no matter what. And it said plus 7 for each mile. And we said miles was M, so 7 times the number of miles she ran. Okay, last one. Ted wants to consume at most 500 calories. That's the most he wants, so he actually wants to consume less than that or equal to it. Right? At most meant less than or equal to. He's going to eat a potato that has 161 calories. Write an inequality that would be used to find the number of hot dogs, H, he can eat if hot dogs have 100 calories each. So he's eating this potato no matter what. Now we got to add in his calories from the hot dogs. Well, hot dogs are 100 each, so 100 times each hot dog. And that's it. You have one sheet to practice on your own, and your teacher has the answer key.